Kicking off the card here, we got Joshua Weems taking on Christian Rodriguez. And this is a short notice fight. Joshua Weems is stepping up on less than a week's notice to take this fight. Christian Rodriguez was getting ready to fight Garrett Armfield, who's a fairly similar matchup. It's a guy that likes to throw big punches and wrestle. But I think Weems is maybe even a little bit tougher fighter because he does have more of a submission threat. But Weems is coming off a big victory in June. He took on Mo Miller in a Fury FC main event. He got the third round submission victory. Mo Miller is a high-level amateur wrestler, great athlete. He's a fighter that won on the Contender Series, so it put Weems back on the map. Weems overall in MMA has 10 wins out of his 12 fights. He's won 2 in a row, and he kind of fell off a little bit after he lost in the Contender Series. He fought Fernie Garcia, got knocked out in the first round, and it was a pretty bad loss. But obviously, due to this being short notice, him coming back in 2 wins, beating Mo Miller, who's a guy that the UFC was kind of targeting on the regional scene. It gave him this opportunity to jump in the UFC. But Weems can't afford another first-round KO loss here, and he has to perform at least a little bit better. He is a grappler, and he has 9 submission wins. Recently, he's tried to be more well-rounded, and he fought in a couple boxing matches. He fought in a bare-knuckle boxing match. And he did get knocked out in both of his boxing matches in 2019 and 2020. And he did win in his bare-knuckle boxing fight via decision, but Weems, including boxing, has been finished by strikes 4 times now, and that's a little bit alarming for a 135er. He has a lot to prove, and it's going to be tough for him to come in here and beat a blue-chip prospect like Christian Rodriguez. But Christian Rodriguez, he impressed even in a loss in his UFC debut. He was a big underdog. He went up a weight class. He faced off with a streaking Jonathan Pierce, and he pushed Pierce hard. He had a good back-and-forth fight. Now he's back at 135 pounds for his second UFC fight. And I'm high on this guy. He's a fighter that I bet on when he initially came into the UFC against Jonathan Pierce. He was a big underdog, like plus almost 400. And it didn't look like that on the night. He did a lot of damage. He definitely won around, and he pushed Jonathan Pierce quite vigorously. So I feel like Christian Rodriguez proved himself, and now at 135, he could potentially be a problem. He spent a lot of time with Rufus Sport. He was there for a lot of years. I remember guys talking about him being at Rufus Sport years back, even the Pettis brothers and things like that. And now recently he's went to Fight Ready. He's been training with those guys over there, and that's a great gym to team up with. I mean, it's something that I think could really help progress C-Rod's skills because he's already an extremely high-level striker, and he has very good ability to scramble and kind of natural grappling ability. So if you can get with a gym that really rounds out that grappling ability, his takedown defense, the guy could be a problem in this bantamweight division. And this division just continues to get more and more rich with fucking talent, man. I mean, it's incredible how many people in this division are doing the thing. So shout out to Christian Rodriguez and Joshua Weems. I mean, I think Joshua Weems is up against it in this fight, though. I mean, we got a guy in Joshua Weems that is dangerous. I mean, he has 9 finishes out of his 10 wins, and he has a real good submission game. If you put him on his back, he is very active, and you have to be very, very mindful. But on the feet, I don't really rate his striking that highly. He is explosive, and he'll throw big punches. He's kind of awkward and moves around and closes his distance, and he is very aggressive too. Like, he'll come forward with some real heat and throw in combination, but he's not very technical. I think Christian Rodriguez is way too good for that style of striking with his footwork, with his feints, his slickness, his pull counters, his ability to, counter off the back foot and be very accurate. I think he could tear him apart. And Joshua Weems also, his chin, man, is just not there. I feel like he gets hurt very easily by punches. And if you look at the Fernie Garcia KO, it didn't seem like it was like a clean punch that landed and it knocked him out. So that to me was not a great sign, especially seeing him, be knocked out 4 times overall in his career. Especially when you're fighting a great striker like Christian Rodriguez with excellent footwork, feints, fast hands, 1-2s, 3-2s, 2-3s. He'll rip the body, real great punch accuracy, mixes in elbows, good kicks, very high volume. He does let some guys hold him against the cage, but his takedown defensive scrambling ability is high level. He almost hit a guillotine on Jonathan Pierce in the first round. Excellent cardio, and I think he's only going to look better here in the second UFC appearance. And I feel like Joshua Weems is someone that he's kind of submission or bust here. And, you know, if Christian Rodriguez takes him down and gets lazy, maybe Joshua Weems could catch him in an armbar. But on the feet, I think Christian Rodriguez is way better. I think he's one of the more skillful strikers outside of the top 15 in the weight class. And I think he's going to continue to prove that. And I see him knocking out Joshua Weems in this one. Weems is stepping up real short notice. Who knows, you know, what type of shape he's going to be in, taking this fight in like 5 days. And I think it's a lot to ask for. I think Christian Rodriguez is someone that's, you know, a very high-level prospect. And I see him getting the win here via knockout. I'm going to say he wins via first-round KO.